Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to another Pokemon Go video. And in this video, we are going to be putting a spotlight on Dragonair in the Kingdom Cup. So to start this off, guys, we are going to be taking a look at Dragonair on pvpoke, and we're going to start this video off with its ratings, how good it is as an attacker, a defender, an opener, and a closer. And then we're going to be hopping right into some Dragonair uh, battles against one of the trainers from the tournament I have. Um, you guys have seen him a lot in some other videos. He's from Europe. And yeah, we are Ultra Friends, so we battle through friendship. So it's always awesome to play against him. So, anyways, we're going to be taking a look at Dragonair. So to start off here, we're gonna be taking a look at Dragonair's moves, and let's first go to its rankings here on pvpoke. I'll make sure to leave a link to this website. Um, and yeah, let's first take a look at Dragonair here. Kingdom Cup. So Dragonair is ranked as 13 in the Kingdom Cup here, and as you can see, its recommended moveset is Dragon Breath as its fast move. Aqua Tail is a move you definitely want here, and it's your choice between Wrap and Dragon Pulse. I personally am running Dragon Breath, Aqua Tail, and Dragon Pulse because the Dragon Breath and Dragon Pulse hits Pokemon like Altaria really hard. Um, it also hits other Dragonairs. It hits Flygon pretty hard. Um, yeah, basically any other Dragon types in the meta it hits very hard, and it hits a lot of Pokemon for just straight up like um, one times damage. Uh, and Aquatail obviously, hits up the Bastiodon pretty nicely. It does a decent amount of damage against Alolan Marowak. As you can see, there's a key matchup there. It does really good against Typhlosion, against Empoleon. It does really good against Ninetales and Magcargo also. But its top counters here are Lucario because that fighting damage, it still does a lot to it. So those power punches will definitely be charging up its counters. And Lucario is almost unstoppable in this meta, so you need either an Alolan Marowak for it, or any other like Lucario counters. Like Altaria is a good one. And obviously, as you guys know, Altaria will take super effective damage 2 times only, not 4 times like Altaria, from ice types. So Articuno, Snowy Castform, which is a funny one. Celio from the Tempest Cup, that Powder Snow spam, and the Aurora Beam slash the Body spam. And then surprisingly enough, Mawile is on here as well, because that Steel typing resists Dragon attacks. So yeah, as you can see here, it is ranked 84 as a lead. It's ranked 82 as a closer. Um, it's ranked about 70 as an attacker and about 90 as a defender. So yeah, from my personal experience, he runs very well with 2 shields. So yeah, he's ranked number 11 as a lead, 12 as a closer, 16 as an attacker, and 14 as a defender. So those are pretty solid. In my opinion, Dragonair is kind of a sleeper pick because no one's really thinking about it. Everyone's really putting some spotlight on Flygon and Altaria. But I personally had a lot of fun using Dragonair. I think it can be really viable in this meta. So anyways, now let's take a look at some battles here. Um, let's do multi-battle. Let's do Kingdom Cup, and let's do Dragonair. So I'm gonna put on my moveset here. So I have Dragon Breath, Dragon Pulse, and Aqua Tail, which is actually the moveset they want, the moveset they recommend here. So no shields against all the Pokemon in the Kingdom Cup meta. This is basically a multi-battle against how basically gives you a percentage of positive matchups, losses, and ties amongst every single Pokemon in the this Cups meta. So, anyways, here it does it doesn't do so great with no shields, but that is to be expected from Dragonair. Because there's a lot of things in this meta that counter it, but you'll see here once I get into shields how much this ratio goes up. So yeah, it's pretty much split half and half between wins and losses. And then it has a few draws here. So yeah, and then the matchups here, the battle ratings you can see are all here. So it goes from top being the best matchups to the bottom being its worst matchups. So now let's take a look at one shield each. And with one shield, as you can see, it's actually went up almost like doubled what it was before. So as you can see, wins has 45 wins amongst the meta, 23 losses, and then 10 draws. And as you can see, the battle ratings are pretty much the same here. Um, and then let's take a look at two shields. I believe two shields is where yeah, two shields is really where it like comes out on top. So it takes 48 wins against the meta, 28 losses, and 2 draws. So as you can see here, it's very high up in battle rating against Flygon, which means it does very well against it. It also does very well against all the other fire types in the meta, mostly because of that Dragon Breath heavy damage and the Aqua Tail damage. So yeah, you're definitely gonna want to use Dragonair, guys. In my opinion, mostly because it doesn't take that 2-time or the 4-time super effective from Ice that Altaria does, and it basically has the same role as an Altaria, except it doesn't have the Sky attack that Altaria does. So that's the only thing that's really holding it back here. But um, yeah, it does super well against like the tanks of the meta. Um, like let's do a few sims here. Let's put on Dragon Tail, Aqua Tail, and Dragon Pulse. Like against Bastiodon here with Flamethrower, assuming it's gonna run Flamethrower. Um, see the matchups here are interesting because two shields on two shields. Bastiodon barely wins with 15 HP left, which means you can put on your Lucario and just basically farm a few hits of energy, which will put you in the advantage there because whatever they have next will have 0 energy, while your Lucario will already have probably enough to fire off a power up punch by then. So yeah, and in one shield against one shield, um, Dragonair actually comes out on top with basically the same amount of health that Bastion did last matchup. It comes out with 11 HP. And as you can see, Bastion is just a huge tank, guys. Like, even though Aqua Tail won't do too much damage, but it does have a favorable win there. And then, obviously, with no shields, Bastion is the king in this cup, essentially. Um, so, yeah, anyways, let's move on to Lucario here. Basically, just queuing up um, sim battles against a bunch of the top meta Pokemon. So yeah, against Lucario, it's not looking good, guys. Lucario basically sweeps it across the board. The only matchup that favors Dragonair here is 2 shields to Lucario's 0 shields. So that's a major win for Lucario. But now let's get into some more favorable matchups. So I believe Dragonair can actually beat out Altaria here. Um, well, actually, no, I take that back. But as you can see, the matchups are very close. 2 shields with 2 shields. It wins with 13 HP. One shield to one shield, they actually tie. As long as it can get off that last Aqua Tail, it's a tie. Um, and then, yeah, Dragonair will obviously come out with the win with the shield advantage. Um, and yeah, now let's move on to what I really like about these matchups here, and that is Flygon. I personally think it's much better to be used against Flygon, um, because as you can see, every single matchup is either tie or it's positive, very positive. So with two shields, it's extremely positive. It destroys Flygon with a whole, basically 100 health left. It's not even able to get off to a charge move yet. So it has all this extra energy going into whatever it has next. And even though you have to shield twice, you'll have a bunch of energy and you can hit whatever's next. With either not very effective, with neutral, or with super effective damage. And then with one shield to one shield, it's a much closer win with 22 HP left. And then with no shields, it's a slightly greater win with 29 health. And the Aqua Tail does a pretty decent chunk of damage there. It does about a third of its health. And now let's go into Blaziken. Let's say it has Focus Blast and Stone Edge. Then here's another really favorable matchup. With two shields, it's pretty close though, with 15 HP left. But that Dragon Breath is just eating its health away, and you both have to use a shield. And this is only with Blaziken with Stone Edge. And then with one shield, it's pretty much the same outcome, same health left. But then the zero shield, it comes out with a heavy win because of the Aqua Tail. And now let's take a look at what else is there that, let's see here. Kingdom Cup. Lapras. Lapras should be able to beat it with Ice Beam. Same with Celio. Steelix. Yeah, let's do two more. Let's do Steelix and Alolan Marowak. So, Steelix. Let's say it has Dragon Tail, Earthquake, and Crunch, because that's like the normal moveset to be run. So yeah, against Steelix, its matchups really aren't favorable. Because as you guys know, Steel resists Dragon. So those Dragon Breaths really won't be doing much damage at all, and the Aqua Tail will only chunk a small amount of health from it. So that's pretty much expected there. Let's take a look at Marowak Alolan form. With, let's say it has Hex, Shadow Ball, and Bone Club. Uh, as you can see here, we have really interesting matchups with two shields. So basically, Alolan Marowak can come out on top with just barely 14 health left, and that's when it gets off a Shadow Ball. So if you have a tiny health advantage, and if the Alolan Marowak has 14 health chipped off from it, it won't even be able to get off that last Shadow Ball. So if you can chip enough damage from it, you'll basically will come out with about like a half health win. So that's something to take note of. And then with one shield, it's actually a really great, strong, solid win. Um, with a pretty decent amount of health left, as you can see here. That Aqua Tail will shred through a Alolan Marowak, and it doesn't take much energy to charge. So that's why I prefer Aqua Tail and Dragon Pulse. And then no shields, it's a straight up tie. So yeah. And it only has 2 health left before it gets off an Aqua Tail, so that's pretty interesting. Alright, so that's it for the pvpoke portion of this video. I just wanted to show you guys the matchups and how Dragonair fares against the meta and how you want to use it. I personally really enjoyed using it with 2 shields. And it does clean up really well if you can gain a lot of energy with no shields. So yeah, let's move on to the video portion of this video. Alright, so now we are here at the video portion. Let's play these battles. So yeah, we are going up against our friend from Germany. I don't know how to pronounce his in-game name. I don't even want to try. It's probably German. Um, but yeah, we're going to open up with our Dragonair here. We're gonna use Lucario as well, and I believe we ended off with Charizard or Flygon maybe, or maybe my shiny Alolan Marowak. Yeah, I got that from a raid like 2 months ago, I think it was. Yeah, okay, we ended off with Charizard there. The shiny Alolan Marowak is nasty, guys. I really like it. Okay, so he starts off with Flygon, so this is a perfect matchup for me to test some things. And as you can see, that Dragon Breath just shreds through his half its health almost instantly. And there he switches to Lapras, so I switch into my Lucario. I don't block that Surf, but it does a surprising amount of damage. So yeah, Lucario is very squishy. I actually am able to get off that Power Up Punch and KO the Lapras, so that's really good for my Dragonair because that Ice Beam hurts. And then he brings back Flygon. I do a little bit of chip damage, and then I bring in Dragonair again and fire off the Aqua Tail. And Aqua Tail does a really big chunk of damage to Flygon. And I had to block that Dragon Claw because that would nearly KO me. And then his final Pokemon here is Charizard, which I forgot to sim, but that matchup is also very good for Dragonair. Because Charizard is so squishy that Dragon Breath does a lot of damage. And on top of that, Aqua Tail is super effective, so that can pretty much one-hit KO Charizard. As you can see there, it does about half its health. So that's really solid. So yeah, I take game one there. I believe we played like 7 matches. I won a majority of them. But yeah, it's still early, so I'm just doing some tests, and I personally have a lot of fun with Dragonair. I like the fact it's not 2 times or 4 times weak to ice, uh, and it can still do a lot of damage to a lot of Pokemon in the meta. So that's always nice. So now here I lead Lucario. He leads Altaria, so that's a really bad matchup for me. But there's an interesting outcome to this, I think. Anyways, yeah, he's able to get off that Sky Attack. I shield. I try to get him with the Shadow Ball here, and yeah, it actually works out in my favor, so that's awesome. And so here I just decided to use a Power Up Punch to see if I can actually KO the Altaria. And look at that, I can. So Lucario wins that matchup if you can get them with Shadow Ball. It's like the opposite of a Shield Bait. And here I bring in Dragonair. He has to switch out the Flygon to Lapras. And I basically want to see how much this Dragon Pulse does, so I actually stay in there. And it does a pretty good chunk of damage. But I thought, okay, he did a smart play there. He chose to use Surf over Ice Beam, so it baited out a shield. So that his Dragon Claw from his Flygon can come in there and kill me. So yeah, anyways, this Flygon I think win. Oh no, I actually am able to barely scrape this win up for me, I believe. Because that Fire Spin or Ember, whatever it is from Charizard, does a good amount of damage. Yeah, I'm able to win it with literally 1 HP, so that was a really close battle there. Um, and yeah, well played, game two. Going into game three, I want to switch up my flow a little bit, I think. Yeah. So here, let's see, what do I run here? Okay, yeah, I open with Dragonair again because the Alcatel really likes, it's really good at baiting shields. And the Dragon Breath is just so overpowered. I'm used to losing to Altaria, that's why. Even against Steel types, Dragon Breath can do tons of damage. But this time I do run a Alolan Marowak in the middle, so yeah, we'll see how that does. So anyways, we got an opening matchup of Altaria versus Dragonair, which I wanted. I make a mistake of using the Aqua Tail there, because, I don't know, I just wanted to see how much damage it would do, but it barely does a thing, so yeah, I know for next time, I should just save up energy and keep spamming the Dragon Breath instead. So I'm able to win that initial matchup with one shield down compared to his two up. So yeah, that's not too favorable for me, but I'll take it. And here, I know his Lapras has some stored energy, so I bring out the Lucario to do as much damage as possible, and then I believe I shield that Surf. Yes, I do. And I am able to get off that power-up punch. And yeah, it puts in work against that. Even does a lot of damage against Flygon. I can eat that Dragon Claw pretty well because of my Steel typing. He blocks that power punch, which I don't really think he needed to block, but yeah. Anyways, my Alolan Marowak comes in here, eats that Dragon Claw like a beast. And here I have Rock Smash on it because I haven't bothered to TM it yet. I wanted to see how it will do against Lapras. And it just takes so long to charge up a move, so Lapras is actually able to get off a Surf before I can get off my Shadow Ball. So yeah, I'm gonna be making a highlight video or a power up video of Alolan Marowak eventually because I think it's a really solid pick against like a Lucario, against anything weak to ground mostly, and also that Shadow Ball damage is really killer. So yeah, and moving in this next game, I open with Alolan Marowak this time, flexing my shiny. Its shiny is just so awesome. I just can't. I can't like believe I actually got a shiny Alolan Marowak, but yeah. Anyways, he gets up that Dragon Claw. I don't block because I know it won't do too much damage. And he's actually able to get off a second Dragon Claw, so I tank that one as well, and I'm finally able to get off one Shadow Ball. I should really switch to Hex. I think Hex is better because of the energy gain. Rock Smash is really good against Lucario and Bastiodon, but Hex just charges the move so much quicker. And now here I bring in my trusty Dragonair. I have to block that. I have to block both of these Dragon Claws, but I'm able to gain some energy off that Charizard. So whatever he brings in next, I have a charge move for. And he brings in Melmetal, which is a new opponent for me. I've never faced a Melmetal yet thus far, and I think Melmetal is pretty good, but yeah, those moves won't be doing very much to my Dragonair since Dragon resists the electric moves. Um, I actually make a quick switch here into Lucario to keep my Dragonair alive, and then he switches into Flygon. And since he has no shields, I go for the Shadow Ball, and I take that win in that game. So yeah, well played there. And as you can see, Dragonair is really good at burning those shields, especially if they have a Charizard in their lineup. You're pretty much, if you can lock in their Charizard, you can be in a really good spot to win a game because that Dragon Breath just eats away at HP so quickly. It's unbelievable almost. Uh, yeah, in this next battle, I think I open with Charizard maybe. No, I open with Lapras with Water Gun, and he opens with Celio. I'm still considering whether or not I want to use Celio. I haven't really tested it in any cups yet. I did a little bit of testing in Tempest, but I didn't really know how to feel about it. I just never really like got around to like testing it and didn't really power it up, I don't think too much. But yeah, I know this isn't a favorable matchup for me, but I actually do end up switching here to Lucario, and that Body Slam I know won't be very effective to me. So I can do a little bit of gaining of energy here. And I do block that Dragon Claw to preserve some HP, and I get off the Shadow Ball so I can force him to burn a shield, which he does. So that's really good for me. And that counter is just going to work here against the Flygon. And now here I switch into my Dragonair to finish that off. and he brings in that Celia once again with Powder Snow, and I actually do end up blocking that Body Slam because I was maybe thinking it would have been Aurora Beam, but it wasn't. But anyways, we have a favorable matchup here against Charizard, so you guys can probably guess what I do here. Um, yeah, I basically have two Aqua Tails fully charged, and I'm just barely. Ooh, I just barely died by that Charizard, but Lapras comes in to finish off that Charizard and take the match from me. So if you guys are enjoying these videos, please let me know in the comments. I personally have a lot of fun with testing these Pokemon. Like the Alolan Raichu video I made, I had a ton of fun with. So I plan to do this with like Pokemon like Lapras. I want to do one with Altaria, Lucario, but I mean we already know how much of a beast Lucario is, so that's kind of a given that he's worthwhile. But I definitely want to do like Lapras, Charizard, Flygon, a little Marowak I really want to do. So yeah, I'll have those videos for you guys in the coming weeks um, to try to help you guys with your team building. So yeah, anyways, into this battle here, my Lapras takes out the Charizard with Surf, and he brings in that Melmetal once again, and that's also a Pokemon I want to do a spotlight video on because I just love how fast Melmetal charges its charge moves. Uh, and yeah, I have to block that Rock Slide there. And he's able to KO me with that final Rock Slide against Lapras. And I bring in my Dragonair. And here's a spot where Dragonair shines with shield advantage. I'm able to take out that Celia with my Aqua Tail. So I think there's about one more match left here, guys. So this video will be wrapping up soon. But I hope you found this video helpful and useful. I hope he gave you some insight on how good Dragonair really is. I think he's great as a shield baiter, and also really great when you have shields for him. All you really need to watch out for in this meta is Aurora Beam, Ice Beam, and Dragon Claw. That's about off the top of my head. That's really what you need to keep your shields for. And if you have the shield advantage with Dragonair, you're pretty much almost guaranteed to win because the Dragon Breath is just so nuts and ridiculous. It does like 3+ damage per Dragon Breath per turn. So yeah, that's kind of incredibly broken, but that's how they made Dragon Breath. So yeah, that's personally why I think Dragonair is a pretty nice pick because it doesn't have the same weaknesses that Altaria does. So yeah, as you can see there, the Celia won that, and he's up 2 shields right now. So I definitely have to make sure I burn those shields. So I burn one with a Power Up Punch, and I get a second Power Up Punch off here with Lucario, and he doesn't shield that, so I'm not in the greatest spot, but I think this is where, yeah, this is where Dragonair really shines endgame, guys. So I'm able to finish off that Altaria, gain a bunch of energy, and all he has left is that Celia with about 1 health. I'm able to fire off that Dragon, that Aqua Tail, sorry, and finish off that with Dragon Breath. So that really shows you how powerful Dragon Breath combined with Aqua Tail is. So yeah, that's where the video end, guys. That's where my matches end. Sorry. That that finishes off my Power of Dragonair video. If you guys enjoy this, please hit the like button and tell me in the comments below what more or what other power of videos you'd like to see, and I'll be sure to make those for you guys in the coming weeks. I hope you guys found that useful and gave you a bunch of insight on how to use Dragonair and in what scenarios it favors. And like how it is as a lead, closer, and how well it does against the overall meta of the Kingdom Cup. And yeah, that's all for this video. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And tell me in the comments what other Pokemon you want me to highlight. Uh, and until next time, I will talk to you guys later. And best of luck to you guys and all your Tempest and Kingdom Cup upcoming tournaments. Until then, I'll see you guys later.